everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course the Brown Skin Human, coming back at you in another video. And this time, this is my intro, this is my second intro to my series of Disney Channel sitcom, Disney Channel sitcom reviews, the late 2010s edition, the late 2010s sitcoms. There will be another intro video for the retro Disney Channel sitcoms, but this is the late 2010s right here, the late 2010s sitcoms, particularly Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, Gabby Duran and the Incredibles, and Raven's Home. And I'm thinking about including Bunk'D, the newest season, the seasons 3 and 4 of Bunk'D, and the newest Disney Channel sitcom, Just Roll With It. Just Roll With It. These right here, these are remakes. These are webcam remakes of my narration reviews, where I go more in depth, talk more in depth about the actors, the actresses, and the sitcoms, the narration reviews, which those will be in the description box below for people who want to see those. Those were just short reviews giving my thoughts on these awesome series. This is me talking about these series after watching multiple episodes and their seasons in their entirety. So with that being said, let's get started right now. We can do what we want if we put our minds to it.
day of camp.
Alright.
The happy kids,
This is
the
my
air of excitement.
this is the second part. This is the second and final part
The roving
of
swarms of
my
mosquitoes.
Bunk'D Season 4 review, overview, and short thoughts on Season 5
Wow,
and the
Destiny,
future
how many
of
are you
Bunk'D.
staying for?
Like
Oh,
I
these
said,
online
this
has
part will be a
addresses.
review
I
portion.
hope
The
to
first part,
suggestion and installed industrial
the
script solving in the
first part
cabin.
narration,
I did not.
the first part
Ben, what have you
narration,
been up to?
narration version was a quote
Well,
unquote,
let me graduate from safety
was a
scissors.
rant.
Still
This
working my
right
way up
here
the learning
is
curve.
the review. And like I said, in plenty of videos about the crossover, Ravens About Bunk, which is the very first Bunk
Totally.
review
Right
I actually
away.
did.
Like, is this count still?
All it took was crossing a terrible show
Well, I
over
just
with a
fished a
good
very
show,
buttery chipmunk out
hiring
of the
new
popcorn
actors
machine,
and
so I picked the
actresses,
word.
actors to replace the departing actors and actresses from the previous
There were 3
series,
rosters,
Jesse
only one
and
of
Bunk
each.
seasons
Actually,
one
you can help me
through
along with the
3,
movies.
and
I think it's the
and
robot.
hiring brand new writers. I hear the writers who gave us Andy Mack now
What's your name?
write this show, and it shows that's all it took to make the worst show one of Disney's
Go ahead and speak up.
finest and most entertaining shows, and it better be the finest and most entertaining show, because like I said, this show is on all the time. To this day I'm still angry at how much they play for not only continuing this show, but how much they play it. They play this
I've
show
never really been anywhere.
more than
I grew up
your
in-
other feature shows,
I
sitting
heard
it to the
about that.
max.
It's called
Cooper and
Living.
Cammy Ask the
I'm
World,
great.
just roll with
Exactly.
it, and Gabby Duran
great.
and the Incinerables. Only
It just
Ravens
means
Home,
you
the
don't
other
have
show
to
gets the attention
Or
and
the
love it
internet.
should, and sometimes this show gets shown more than that show, when that is your flagship show.
I
So
much to teach you.
Yeah,
good news.
these new
Like
characters,
Gwen's a woodchuck.
these new characters,
Yay.
Noah,
I'll show you our
Mateo,
cabinet.
Fun
Finn,
fact,
Ava,
that is Woodchuck
Destiny,
Cabin
and
now,
Gwen, all led by Lou, returning from the previous series. You have, I think, Shelby Simmons.
Guys,
Shelby Simmons
camp is about
portrays
embracing change.
So,
What kind of
Shelby
director
Simmons
would I be if
portrays
I didn't expand your comfort zone.
Shelby
Cabin's
quote
burned down
unquote
again.
Simmons
Nope, big old
portrays
sinkhole.
Ava.
Followed by a
Scarlett
giant rainstorm,
Estevez
then a mudslide
portrays
that filled in the
Gwen.
sinkhole, so happy ending.
I think her name is Mallory Mahoney portrays Destiny and Miranda Ray returns as Lou, and
Finn, Mateo, meet your
the
new
actors who
counselor Noah.
portrays
Nice to meet
Finn,
you. How's it
Mateo,
going?
and Noah.
Let me guess.
Can't remember
You
their
must
names. I can
be
look it up
Finn
right
and
quick.
You must be Mateo.
Other way around.
Oh. Has anyone ever told you guys you don't look like yourselves?
Noah's an actor. He's going to be our new drama specialist, something we've never had before. And he has lots of camp experience.
Yep, I was in the movie Summer Camp Part 6, Slam Bunk. I played the kid who falls
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, no.
Cool. But you do have other camp experience.
Nope, I'm Stitch.
Note to self, add that question to the application.
Yeah, don't remember.
But I guess at this point, you're my only option.
That's what the casting director for Summer
Oh yeah,
Camp 6
Israel
said.
Johnson portrays Noah. Alejandro something portrays Mateo, and I keep forgetting the actor who portrays Finn. But those are the actors.
No.
Those are the actors' names. Like I said, these actors and these actors, actresses, and characters are way better
You're
than
making me uncomfortable.
That's good. That's what the
than
girls
Sky
like.
Jackson, Zori,
Now, we don't want
what's
to
her
get to know each
face?
other.
Peyton List, Peyton List,
Cramping.
Emma,
Good
and
one, let's settle in. Then we can do more acting exercises.
and Kareem Barr, I think that's his name, who portrays Robbie, and of course, the late Cameron Boyce, who portrays Luke. These actors are much better. And these characters are much better. Instead of having horrible racial, racist stereotypes, this version has exaggerated cartoonish stereotypes, which is much better than racial stereotypes. Over the top, unrealistic cartoonish stereotypes are better than quote unquote racist stereotypes. Anyway, in this sitcom,
neighborhood where hugs are just hugs and we don't share our campers. This is Destiny, and this
Anyway,
is Gwen. It's your first time counselor. I don't want to overload you with too many campers.
This anyway,
I've
in
only
this
ever been to
sitcom,
city camp.
in this sitcom, sorry, I got distracted for a moment. In this sitcom, Miranda Lou, I'm watching the pilot in the background.
like
Yeah,
it,
my
you're
favorite
weird.
episodes of this sitcom
Well,
are
Ava,
the
not to
pilot,
brag, but Woodchuck Cabin
the
is
pilot,
the best cabin.
the
And I should
episode
know, I've
where
been one my whole camp
the
career.
episode where
We
Gwen's
even
brother
have some
returns. I don't remember the number. The other
I will never do that.
oh yeah,
And we have our own mascot. Meet Woody.
the episode Squatter Rights where they where the female characters trick the men the grizzly cabins trick them into giving up their bathroom because their bathroom is terrible. Then the following episode, Party Pooper, Ava and Finn's birthday episode,
Sleeping in the director's cabin?
and
Oh,
another funny episode
of course, the
where
cabin.
one of Lou's
Hey, why don't I give you a hand?
weird cool Asian friend
That's really
returns,
nice.
and
Sure.
she's like this super popular celebrity, but celebrity who has this awesome life, but turns out she was a fake. She was a fake, and realized Lou had the better life, but Lou's life was actually real. That episode, I don't remember the name of the episode nor the number. Then the episode where Hazel from the previous series returned, and
I grew up with 5 older brothers.
last
The only
but
time
not
I ever
least,
got any friends was when I fell down that manhole.
oh yeah, then then another
found
episode that I see this episode over and over again, and that's the episode
It's
where
a note from Emma.
where
Who's Emma?
Only
where
my best friend, the
Gwen
woodchuck,
comes
the
up with a
person, the whole
brand
wide world. I
new
realize now I'm shouting, but
comes up
darn
with
it,
a brand
it's
new
my whole language.
body ointment,
Hello, I guess you're moving in your
body
new
ointment, and
cabin.
gets
Hope you
into
picked up the
and
vibe.
Mateo
Right now,
takes
the
credit
info is
for
very
it,
Spider-Paradise. I
being
just
the
wanted to
problems
wish you
between
luck
the
with your
two,
crazy big
and the
new
final
job.
episode of season 4, which is the opener, which
It's a
is
giant
the season
responsibility,
4
but I know
opener
you can
to
handle all
Raven's
the
Home,
huge
and that
problems
is
and challenges.
Raven about
You're
Bunk,
about
the
to
greatest
be
episode of Bunk ever.
fresh, but it's
The
all up to
episode
you
that
now.
one of the episodes that made me a Bunk fan. I was only watching this as a
When you put
guilty
it that way,
pleasure.
the camp director
A
sounds
guilty
pretty
pleasure because it was
impossible.
on all the time. This episode made me a fan, and Bunk'd is one of the shows I actually look forward to.
Well, good luck with
One of
that.
the Disney shows I actually look forward to
I'll let you
watching.
pass,
It better
and
be one of the shows I'm looking forward to. 'Cause like I said, I'm eager how much Disney plays this show. The Ravens about Bunk. That is the greatest crossover and the greatest episode. The greatest episode ever of both. That's so far the greatest episode of season 4 of Raven's Home, and that is the greatest episode of season 4 of Bunk'd. Even though the season 5 episodes of Bunk'd do quote unquote rival it. I'm not gonna talk in depthly about the season 5. I enjoyed all the season 5 episodes, and despite the fact that Gwen, the character Gwen Scarlett Estevez, is not in this series because she was filming a Christmas movie, she is rumored to return for one episode. I mean, not rumored, but she is set to return for one episode according to Bunk'd.wiki, but she's not in this season. Despite not being in the season is still better than ever. Still better than ever. Taking her place is Trevor Jordan, Bucky from Zombies, and the guy, and he's also from a Canadian show called The Next Step. And also in one of the final episodes, Meg Donnelly, Addison from the Zombies, she will have a guest starring in a big role at the end in the season
Mindfulness.
in the season finale with the connection to the
Actors use
to Trevor's own characters, and Emma Ross returned for one episode. So yeah, like I said, season 5 of Bunk'd has been awesome. It's still ongoing and it's set to conclude this May, and Yeah,
ask
what
for
else?
highs and lows.
Yeah, what else
The high
about
low
this?
points of your day.
What else
My
about this
eyes begin to hear
sitcom?
all
What else
day
about
long
this
about
sitcom?
everything
Oh
the
yeah, so in the
actors do.
future, let me get to more about the plot. So yeah, like I said, Lou returns from season 4. It is now a camp counselor. It is now a camp counselor, and I think director who
Oh no,
runs
my
the
friend, there's
camp
much
alone.
more where that came from.
Yay!
Who of course runs the camp.
Okay, Grizzly.
Runs the camp
Lights out.
alone. She runs the camp, and the Rosses have moved on with, I think, Ravi becoming a scientist and Emma becoming some kind of fashion mongol, something like that. I don't remember their careers, and I keep forgetting what happened to Sky Jackson's character. Nor do I care. Nor do I care. So only Lou returns. Of course, from season 3, the new characters Mateo, Finn, and Destiny return, and characters Gwen and Ava. Ava, a city girl makes her debut here. Gwen, a girl who was raised in the woods, and is naive of modern civilization and technology. And you got a city girl who knows nothing about camp, camp, and isn't cut out for outdoors, outdoors, outdoors,
But last time I checked, I only have 2 campers.
outdoors. Ava is pretty
So who
much
is that?
the new Emma and Zuri. She's like a spoiled city girl like Emma, and she's a sassy, mischievous little girl like Zuri, and both Emma and Zuri had both of the same qualities. Zuri was also a spoiled city girl too,
Happy to have
and
you.
Emma was also
what are we
bratty,
doing here?
and
I just thought it might be a
mischievous
good
in
idea to
multiple
stay around for a while
episodes,
just until you learn
and that is
the
the Ava character.
What's
The
there to
Ava
learn?
character
You keep
is
them alive,
much
and then
more
you collect your
likable
checks
and
and
much
you
more
suffer.
funnier than those characters
Real
where you know the real life Shelby Simmons is nothing like the Ava character here, but this is a character I can actually tolerate. I couldn't tolerate Zuri and Emma. They became more tolerable as they got older in Jesse and into this show Bunk, because they were much older instead of the brats they were in Jesse, but those characters just weren't likable. Those characters just weren't likable and were just cheesy. Not only were they not likable, but they were just cheesy, annoying, and just cringeworthy. These characters are what's his name. You have people saying these new characters. I'm gonna continue the characters first, and let's talk about what people say.
Well, he never
Then
had
you
that
got
problem,
quote unquote
because he was such a good cook. No, he was terrible, but he was great at taking criticism.
Then you got Noah. Then you got the character of Noah.
Ava, where you from, Ava? Let's not do that. Okie doke.
Then you got the character of Noah, a Hollywood actor who was an extra in Summer Camp 6, something like that. An extra who becomes the camp counselor, who becomes the leader of the cabin, featuring the boys Mateo and Finn, replacing Ravi and Mateo. Mateo is young Ravi, the scientist, the guy who's super smart, and Finn is he's the new, much more likable Luke,
It's called a trust
the late Karen Boyce's character, and the Hispanic character Jorge, except this character is much more likable, tolerable, and relatable in comparison to those characters who were just stereotypes. He's the character with the worst and the poor hygiene, the pretty much the carefree, goofy, gross out character who is dim-witted. So yeah, and people try to say, oh, these, and then you got going back to Destiny, her character, she's also much more diva, much more so in with the new Emma, in that she's all about fashion, braiding her hair, beauty pageants, etc. Except she's much more tolerable, much more likable than Emma. So yeah, a lot of people say these new kids were cringe. Bunk, Jesse were always cringe. We're always cringing. Jesse, Bertram, and to a lesser extent, Robbie were really good characters. And Robbie was a wimpy, stereotypical Asian who's bullied for being smart. bullied for being smart and weak.
No.
Then you got
Not in front of
Bertram,
Kansas.
who's a lazy butler who is constantly disrespected and crapped on by taken advantage of by the kids and everyone there. Everyone there. Everyone there. That show was even worse. Bunk'd was a little bit more tolerable because the characters were older. And the characters were quote unquote older, but the only thing that was really good about Bunk'd were the new main characters of Lou. I like how Lou was a starch departure from the Disney Channel protagonist. Instead of the Cinderella princesses, princess style of characters Disney Channel shows usually have. You have a thick city girl from Maine, a thick city country girl from Maine as your main character. That was a great departure from the stereotypical Cinderella types. Then you had Xander, one of the only most normal guys there, Xander. And then you got Hazel, the frenemy of the psychotic frenemy of the group. These were the only three good characters. These were the only three good characters. This show was always cringe. It was even worse when the Ross. So stop with the revisionist history that this was a good sitcom. This was always a terrible sitcom. It's a much better sitcom now with the new writers, actors, actresses, and the cool crossover with Raven's Home.
What are you doing in here? Definitely not finding an Italian place that delivers.
Yeah, that was
You're supposed to be looking
that
after
was
the woodchuck.
Bunk'D, and the episode follows the misadventures of this new team.
Okay.
Episode
Yes,
one, like I
may have
said,
taken
revolved
your job a
around
little bit, but I can't be a counselor. I have a camp to run. Then why aren't you running? I don't know.
episode one. Feature Lou coming
I don't usually ask leading questions
returning
because
and
those tend to
feature
lead
Lou
to
returning
emotions
and
and, you know, why can't you let go
Noah
of being a
becoming
woodchuck?
the
want to
camp
be a
counselor and
writer?
leader
Of course I
of the
do.
Grizzly
Oh,
cabin.
yeah,
That's the
you want
males
that as a
cabin.
dream come
The
true.
males cabin.
It's
The
like
males
finding out your
the
prize
male
sheet
quote
and
unquote
having
males
twins.
cabin.
Neither one
The
of them
males
is
cabin
rich.
and all he annoys both Finn and Mateo by constantly talking about acting stuff and doing
Being a
various
woodchuck is
acting and
something I
theater
already know I'm good at.
exercises
It's all
and
that
tests
never been.
to which during one of the tests which
But you've been a
which
counselor
Mateo
before.
and Finn
You
both
know
mess
how to
up.
be a leader.
Both mess
Not
up.
the leader of everything, and
Finn
no, I don't have Emma. Or
Mateo
Robbie
tells
or
Finn how he's not having fun, and Finn agrees with him. Noah
Oh, no,
and how they
it's
miss
just-
Robbie and how they miss Robbie and Noah overhears them and leaves camp, which leads to the plot of this episode, and they all comically let by Gwen go and find him, and they all apologize and reconcile and say, and Mateo and Finn say they have to get used to him. They have to get used to him. They have to quote unquote get used to him like they did Robbie, like they did
I recently watched a movie
like
about
they
the
did
Civil War and I can't get it out of my head.
like they did quote unquote
Walk to Los Angeles.
like they did with
That's
Robbie,
almost
and that
4,000
Robbie
miles
wasn't
away.
perfect
I
either,
hope you brought
but they were
my
used
Russian
to Robbie. They were
We need
used
to
to
organize
Robbie.
a search
My
party.
opinion,
Do I have to
was
be in it? I
already
barely
better
know.
than Robbie. So yeah. Then the next episode, I mentioned the episode where Gwen's brother returns. I can't remember his name, but anyway, the subplot of this episode was much more exciting with Mateo and Finn going a week to the horror of Noah, going a week without showering, and then Mateo gets used to stinky like that. And even after the vet and the competition is finished, it still chooses not to shower. Once again, to the horror of everyone, to the horror of Noah, and even everyone, even the new guy, even Gwen's brother who wonders, do city smokes? Joe says, do city smoke smell as bad as that kid? And Gwen tells Mateo he can bathe now. Then you have what's the next episode? Oh yeah, the episode where
What's she
Lou's
doing? I don't know.
one of Lou's
she
childhood
doing?
friends,
I don't know.
who's this
What's she doing?
who's this
I don't
Asian
know.
woman,
What's she
who's this
doing? I
Asian
don't
woman
know.
who leads
What's
this
she doing?
superficial life, constantly
What's she
taking
doing for
pictures and on her phone, but it turns out her superficial life is fake as she and Gwen, but Luke throughout the episode tries to impress her by making her life seem much better when her life is already much better because Lou's life is real. Lou's life is real, and the Asian woman's life wasn't. And then at the end of the episode, the Asian woman wants to. There's a running gag of her now wanting to see how awesome Lou's life is, wanting to come to camp, and then Lou keeps repeatedly saying for the last time, whatever her name is, you are a grown woman. You cannot go to camp here. Then another episode.
That doesn't mean we want you to leave. No, you're right.
Then I mentioned the episode where Gwen comes up with a new, with a quote unquote new device, with a quote unquote new device,
and it's okay
a new device called a new body spray, a new body ointment, I can't remember the name, but Mateo takes credit for it and tries to clean it and causing dissension between the two. And Mateo eventually apologizes and they reconcile. Then at the end, the big realization is that also in the same episode, in the A plot, in the other plot, Noah's parents are divorcing and he has no one to talk to about it. Lou tries to talk to him about it, but because Lou's parents are divorcing, Lou can't understand what Noah's going through, so Lou later gets Finn to talk to him about it. Finn tells him the benefits, tells him the benefits of having a divorced parents, and tells him it's going to be hard at first, but he'll eventually get through it, and that's that. But back in the realization at the end of the episode, the whole realization that Gwen's ointment is secretly, because you have episode they're wondering because the ointment smells and it turns out the ointment is cow manure. So everyone was covering themselves in cow manure at the end of the episode. Next was what was the next episode? Squatters' rights. The episode starts off with Destiny in the bathroom, hogging it, drying her hair. She says something. I don't want to be the camp. I don't want to be some. Destiny says something like, I don't want to be a camper whose hair is not right. And then Ava, who's on the outside, the man got to open the door that she had to go, and then she says, I don't want to be a camper who exploded. And they learn right here that their bathroom is just way too small. So they notice the guys, the Grizzly Cabin guys, Noah, Mateo, and Finn have a much larger and better bathroom. So they trick them by playing to the light, saying Mateo can see his rare birds. Finn can enjoy the sweet smell of bacon. And Noah can pursue his career as an actor, something like that. They get the cabins, and it's none of the stuff they said, and the boys address them about it, to which they comically says, Mateo says, it was none of the stuff out there. There was no smell of bacon. There was no place for his acting. And then Mateo finished it by saying there was no rare birds, just Scoutmaster something in his swimsuit, which I can't unsee something like that. It was hilarious. In the B plot, Lou has this new camp guy who fixes everything, but he's incompetent and can't fix or properly make anything or get anything right, and Lou can't bring herself to be cool enough to fire him. And right when she finally does master the strength to fire him, she pretends to feel sorry for him, which causes him to abandon his job at the rival Camp Champion, who are featured in multiple episodes as antagonists and are led by Trish. One of the most prestigious members. There are a lot of members, but one of the more famous members is the character of Trish from Austin and Ally. She hires Lou. He agrees to abandon his job at Camp Champion and stay here. When he breaks the girls' cabin bathroom door after the boys trick him to get it back, Lou let until Lou can get them a new bathroom. Lou lets them use her bathroom, resolving this plot. Then we got the next episode, Party Pooper, a similar episode, except this one revolves around Ava's surprise birthday party. Birthday party. Throughout the episode, Ava talks about not wanting anyone to plan her a surprise birthday party, but secretly thinks they're planning her a surprise birthday party anyway. But it turns out they're not, especially when it gets to the end where she thinks by clogging, she clogged something and got covered in brown stuff by doing this task. By doing this task, this is her distraction while everyone plans her surprise party. But it turns out when they finally plan the surprise party, the surprise party is for Finn. The cake is for Finn, to where she snaps and takes the cake and eats it herself, and Noah goes to her, apologizes, and makes it up to her with a dance party celebration with this music. It was Robbie used it, the dance music, the stock music Noah uses. Robbie used it in one of the earlier seasons of Bunk'd. And the episode comically ends where Noah says, I know you guys are planning a surprise birthday party, but everyone has forgotten his party, but pretend to know and say, yeah, you're right. The episode ends there. But back in the other plot, Mateo, and Mateo sits in chocolate, and Finn and he thinks Gwen ditches him, and Mateo thinks Gwen ditched him because he supposedly crapped his pants, but he just sat in chocolate, and Gwen's plot, Gwen let one rip, Mateo, and Mateo avoids her for the chocolate thing, and she thinks Mateo is avoiding her because she let one rip, and both of them in this public place confess to each other and say neither one of us has any right to be embarrassed, except, and then Noah says, except for this private conversation taking place in this very public place. But yeah, that was that episode. And then, like I said, you had the greatest episode of Bunk, the huge crossover where the Bunk cast crossover with the Ravens home cast when Tess gets into Camp Champion. Tess gets into Camp Champion and can't go because her father and mother have prior engagements. So Raven and the gang take her to Camp Champion, but they get lost in Maine. They leave Chicago and go to Maine, and they get lost and land in some special spot. Lou said, I don't remember what special spot it was, and this is where they meet Lou. Lou, and Booker and Nia and Levi get addicted to the outdoors. And Booker at first refuses to go to camp, but then Nia makes a joke saying, if you leave camp now, you'll be stuck in Chicago with nothing but my nature documentaries. And then Booker turns around and agrees, and the Booker goes with Noah, Finn, and Mateo. Booker and Levi go with Noah, Finn, and Mateo, where Levi and Mateo, because they're geniuses, immediately bond. And Noah decides the pecking order by sending Booker in the woods to look for a special animal called a snipe in exchange for better options and better lunch menu, which has multiple options, Booker's favorite options. So Booker takes Finn with him. Meanwhile, Nia and Tess before she leaves for Camp Champion, bond with Destiny, Ava, and Gwen, where Nia suggests foraging to the delight of Gwen, and they go in the forest looking for stuff edible to eat, and everyone brings back something safe except for Destiny, and Gwen says everyone brought everyone, and then Mia says, so did we find something edible, or are we allowed to escape with our lives? And Gwen calmly replies, somewhere in the middle. And then meanwhile, back in Booker's plot, Booker and Levi find Tess in the forest looking for the same snipe animal, and it's here where they both figured out they've both been pranked. And Booker falls in a hole, and is trapped in a hole with a giant copper snake. Raven and Chelsea arrive back from getting lobster, missing their kids, and Raven dives into the hole and rescues quote unquote Bucker. Meanwhile, Levi and Mateo build a quote unquote drone that finds everyone and tries to lead them back to camp, but bumps into a tree, and Lou says, "Yeah, we can come the way we came. We can come the way we came." And then everyone agrees to stay for open house. Meanwhile, Ava Tess agrees not to go to Camp Champion or wear their logo after pranking her, and then saying they were gonna buy this camp and turn it into a garbage dump after they clean it up. And that's when Tess says she can't wear that logo, so Ava and her come up with a plan to get even with Camp Champion. And Ava comes up with a stink bomb prank and approaches Finn about it after setting up the stink bomb with help from Gwen. I can't remember what Gwen did. Finn decides to have a change of heart and not go through with the stink bomb prank because no one deserves to have their camp stinking, their summer ruined. Ava says no one except Camp Champion, and they fight over the stink bomb and accidentally drop it, spreading the entire stink. Now everyone has to save the camp, as everyone has to band together and save the camp from the stink bomb from ruining opening house, thus ruining all of the enrollments from camp. And that's mostly the plot of the episode. I already talked about the plot in the Ravens home video and the Raven about Bunk'D episode post reaction and review plot. So yeah, this was the greatest episode of Ravens Home Season 4, and it still is of Season 4, and this was the greatest episode. This is one of the greatest episodes of Bunk'D, and is the best of Season 4. The Season 5 episodes, like I said, rival it. Now, because of the COVID-19, Disney is unsure of its future. Please don't let the COVID-19 ruin this awesome show, which I've just now, after hating this show, like I said, just become a huge fan of it. Now it's one of the shows I look forward to. And one of the many shows, like I said, making quote unquote Disney Channel fun again. Disney Channel quote unquote fun again. So yeah, please do not cancel this show. Please do not cancel this show. Do not let COVID-19 ruin this show. I want this show to last until the characters pretty much graduate from high school. Because it's a camp show, you can always have characters come back and leave. First I wanted this show to be off the air back in 2016. Now in 2018, with these vast improvements, I want to see the show stay on for a while. Well, this was my review and overview Season 4 of Bunk'D. In order to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.